tasty Van Halen licks. This sequence here is set up with basically 3 licks. It's not necessarily a note-for-note Van Halen lick from a solo, but it is something that could sound a lot like Eddie's style. So I'm going to break it down into the 3 parts for you, and we'll play them a little bit slow, a little bit quick, and then we'll put them all together. So as usual, I have my trusty Kramer that's in E-flat tuning, so make sure that you're tuned down a half step if you want to follow along note for note with what we're doing. Today's sequence, or today's licks, are going to be basically using E minor pentatonic scale. So let's run through it so you can get your position and you can get kind of comfortable with where we are. However, as we know with Eddie, there are going to be some parts where he's using a sequence. Now, if you really want to get picky with what scales are being used, you could actually say that he's borrowing a little bit from Dorian and a little bit from the blues scale, and here's why. Now, the top 3 strings, the G string, the B string, and the E string, are all going to be using 12th fret, 14th fret, and 15th fret. So if you want to line up all the notes together into a scale, it could be. Now, we're not going to use them in that sequence. We're going to use them in different order, so to speak. It's not a straight scale going up or going down. You'll see what I mean as we get to, I believe, the second sequence that we're going to do for today. Now, the first piece, or the first lick, you can say, it's this bending, and I like to call it like bending a little over the pitch, okay? So what he's doing, he's got a slide, or actually I came up with a lick, so I guess you could say I came up with a slide going up to the 12th fret on the B string, and then I'm going to pick the high E, 12th fret, and back to the B string, 12th fret, and then 15th fret bend, a whole step, but I'm going to overbend slightly to get a little bit of a pitch effect from it. See how I'm overshooting the bend slightly? And then I'm going to do the same idea with a whole step bend on the E string, 15th fret. There's my whole step. Now I'm going to overshoot slightly. Now, when I get to this bend here, sometimes I'm going to pick the 15th fret and do the bend. Sometimes I might hammer on and do the bend. So I'll give you an example slowly. Notice how I did a hammer on into the bend there, and I'll do the same thing on the high E string. Or I can do a pick. Sorry, I did a hammer on again. Now if you mix and match them a little bit, kind of put them in at random, it sounds quite nice. So there's our first little sequence. The second sequence is going to use a pattern, and here's our pattern. And then we move to the next string. And then to the next sequence. So the first one again. And what I'm going to do is go back up the scale, ascending, with the same sequences. Oops. So, together. last piece here is a really cool Eddie lick. It's so simple, but sometimes overlooked, and it's another signature part to his playing, I feel. It's a small little swing lick here to put an end to the phrase. If you listen very carefully, especially a song like I'm the One, it's a heavy swing feel to it. It's very fast, but there's a heavy swing feel. He'll end off a phrase like that, which is very nice, very simple. So, there's the ending phrase, and that's it. And that's our third sequence. So the first sequence. Second. Next phrase. And there's our third. So all together, once again. And there you go. There's some more Van Halen type licks for you. Practice, practice, practice. Have fun with them, and I'll see you at the next lesson.